Hello everyone, this is Ripper of Ripper Gaming, and today I'm going to be reviewing the JSAUX Steam Deck and Ally dock. Now this dock is the HB0702, and it does come with a charger. You can buy it without one as well. So I'm going to go ahead and just go over the specs of it, and then we'll do some testing with it. So the first thing is to see that it does support 100 watt fast charge, so that's PD 100 if you're looking to use it with the Ally and turbo mode. It goes up to 4K 60 and on HDMI. This one also has DisplayPort at 4K 60, a Gigabit Ethernet port, and it says 10 gigabit per second data transmission, and that's just really through Usbc when you're transferring data. Really more so if you're transferring something like a USB drive, something like this, and you're using USB-C. So, alright, let's go on the back of this here. Take a look at it. I'll try and zoom in here and see if our focus works. Okay, so you can see that's the HB0702. It's a 7-in-1 adapter. I'll go through the ports here in just a minute. And then it also comes with a 45 watt PD45 charger. And that's the CH4504. So if you already know a little bit about the Steam Deck and Ally, this should work fine for the Steam Deck with this charger, but it won't be enough power for the Ally. So we're going to go ahead and jump into it. I will say I've already opened this, so this is just kind of a reopening, just so you can kind of see what it comes packaged like. And so in here, we're going to have our dock. So I'm going to go ahead and get that out. And then we're going to open this up, which is the charger, and get that out. Here. So we've got our USB-C charger. Now you can see that comes with a lot of cable. So you got a lot of length here. Yeah, this comes with a standard North American plug here. But there are some adapters as well. So we'll go ahead and look at those just to see what else comes in it here. So we've got additional chargers for different areas. I can't say I know these off the top of my head. But I'm going to assume Europe and maybe Germany, that kind of thing. So if we look at this, the way it's kind of designed here, you can see it's made to slide right on to the current switch. So like that, you've got a plug. And the other one works just the same as well, where it just slides on sideways like this. So those come in the box, so that's nice. We're going to go ahead and move those over to the side here and pull out this, which is a nice little add-on. The fact that they have a 90-degree USB-C. This, I can already tell you, will be helpful when it comes to using the Ally on the dock, just because this cable's on the right side of the dock and the Ally is on the left side for the charger. So I'm going to go ahead and move these things out of the way here, so that we can focus on testing the dock. So we will go ahead and get that off screen. Now, just to show you, I want to test this and make sure I test everything as is. I've got this charger that comes with it, as well as two others, just so we can do full testing. And this is an absolutely crazy long cord. I gotta say, it's probably about 10 feet. So I'm going to step off screen and plug it in and route the cable over. Okay, so got my cable over there now. So we're going to take a look at this dock, and you should be able to see, if you already happen to have bought one, then you can look on the back here. Trying to get a focus there. HB0702. Now I happen to have an HB0603 also, and if you have that one, it's a good one as well, but it does not have the display port. So we've got the standard USB-C hookup for Steam Dock or Ally. Got our Ethernet over here, and then we've got 3 USB 3.2 ports, so those are the fast ones. And then we've got the USB-C PD, which is where your power goes in, display port, and HDMI. So this one really kind of handles anything you could think of. So let's go ahead and start with seeing what the fit and fitment is like. So I will start with the Ally. So I might adjust this just a little bit so we get a better view here. So when we're talking about the Ally, just move our stand for the Ally out of the way and put it sideways here. Has a slight angle. Looks pretty good. Now obviously if I stand it up straight, it's got a little bit of wiggle back and forth, but this nice little rubber pad here helps things. So I'd say it fits pretty well for the Ally, so that's a plus. So let's move that one over, and we're going to try it now with the Steam Deck. Now my Steam Deck has a D-brand case on it, so obviously that's going to make it a little bit thicker. And so if we put it in with the case, this is always a big thing for me, because if you have a thick case on it, is it a problem? So with the case, I mean, it seems to actually sit in there fairly well. You know, it's not going to easily get knocked over from what it looks like, and it still sits at kind of the same angle. No issues there. Now it is a little tight, so I mean but not really a problem in my daily use, so hopefully that's not a problem for you. So now if you don't have this case, you probably want to see how it fits, so that means I get to take this case off. So this will be fun. Let's go ahead and rip this thing off. Not the easiest thing to do, but we'll see if we can knock it out real quick here. I've done this enough times, it doesn't seem to get easier. I guess that is good. Okay, here we go. Now we have that case off. Great. So much skinnier. You know, I've got this is a JSAUX transparent back also. I do intend to get the purple transparent front they just came out with and install that in a new video later as well. But if you see this one, it actually is skinnier than the ROG Ally, just right in the middle there where it matters. So, but it still fits fine. You know, no issues there. Obviously, it has some wiggle room here, but you know, you're probably going to sit it like this and just use a remote or something if you're docking it. So I think no problem with fit with case, without case. Steam Deck, Ally, all of them seem to work very well in this. So that's a positive. So the next thing we're going to do is do some testing with the dock. So we are going to plug in to my monitor here. So I'm going to adjust this. This is a 27-inch 1080p monitor. Nothing special, but it gets the job done. So let's see if that can focus there. And well, I'll jump back down real quick just so you can see. I've got 3 cables here. So this right here is the JSAUX cable. That's the 45 watt. This right here is the Ally cable. That's a 65 watt. And then I've got a 100 watt cable going to an Anchor power supply. So we'll start with the JSAUX one. That is the one that comes with it. So I'm pretty sure it's going to work just fine with the Steam Deck. But of course it might not work perfect with the with the Ally just because of power. So it looks like that fits in there without the 90-degree adapter. Remember, it comes with one, so we will probably use it on the Ally. And this seems to work fine. Let's go ahead and get this turned on and make sure everything looks okay. Yeah, so I feel good there. There you go, right back into my game, and seems to be playing well. Let's check over here. So we've got only 10% battery. It's calculating charging time on it. So it is charging. This should be fine. It just keeps going down, you know, from 24 hours now down to 6. So this will probably just keep speeding up. Now, the one thing I want to test is how this is going to work when hooked up to everything. You know, what kind of power do we get? Shouldn't be a problem with the Steam Deck since it's relatively low power. But I'm going to show you that I'm going to hook up a keyboard, a mouse. We're going to hook up a storage device. We don't have an extra USB-C on this, but this storage device works for either way. And I'm going to go ahead and hook up the monitor, which I've got an HDMI cable for it right here. Okay, so let's give that a second and see. There we go. You can see it's up on our screen now. So I'm going to bring out my keyboard. Got a little one I kind of put new keycaps on that I like. And then I've got my Corsair mouse here. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that one on. I'm connecting both these to USB to see if we have any issues here. So now my lights are kind of at this level. Hopefully you can see that decently. But let's see. Yeah, I mean, I'm able to play with the keyboard. You can probably hear my keyboard keys there. But yeah, this seems to work really well. It does show, let's see if I can hit the button and see the charging performance. So it's saying 3 hours and 14 minutes projected charging time. That's still going down. I don't know if it would be better with a higher powered one. So I'm going to go ahead and hook up my 65 watt one and see if that changes the charging time. Now, it's kind of hard to say because this is constantly going down, but it's kind of hovering around 3 hours right now because I'm at 11%. So let's pull that power out. And we're going to go ahead and put in a 65 watt. Sorry, not the easiest to maneuver around a camera here. Okay, so I've got a 65 watt hooked up. Looks like it's playing just fine. We're going to go look at our power here. And well, that's saying calculating battery life, not calculating charging time. Okay. Yeah. Just not doing a great job at plugging it in here. Okay. So there we go. So now, let's see what we've got. Okay, there we go. So 4 hours and 10 minutes, it's jumping down to closer to probably where it was. I don't know if it's going to get any faster than around 3:10 or so. That's where it was before. It does look like it's getting a little bit faster here. Where we're at, we're looking at about 3 hours and 10 minutes charging time. This looks slightly faster. I mean, really only a few minutes difference, maybe 10 minutes. So even going from the 45 to 65 watt, I don't think it makes a big difference. The only reason I could say there's any real difference there is probably because it's trying to use as much power as it can to charge, and the fact that, remember, I've got lots of devices hooked up here. So I'm going to go back down here and show you that we've got a hard drive, we've got a mouse, a keyboard, we've got HDMI, and then we've got our USB-C incoming power there. So really, I think it runs just fine with the 45 watt device that comes with it. So no need for something new if you're solely getting this for your Steam Deck. Now, if you're getting it for your Ally, we're probably going to have to go with a different power adapter here. So anyway, this looks like it plays great. No issues. It's charging. So pretty good there. This doesn't really support higher than 60 Hertz refresh rate, so I'm not really going to test that on here, but we will try that with the Ally, of course. So now I'm going to go ahead and disconnect this, and we're going to take a look back down here. Let's get ourselves focused, and we're going to turn off this, and we are going to go to the Ally. Let me get logged in real quick here.
A few moments later.
Okay, so now we are logged in. So we are going to see if this will fit in, because like I said, this is on the right side, so it's a little tight. It looks like, yeah, not the easiest. I can probably get it, but it would help to probably use the extender here. This should make it easier. Yes, definitely. So, let's see, that should come up on our screen now. So we're looking good here. Okay, so let's see, we've got our mouse working. Great, great. Let's go ahead and check our display settings. So this is duplicating the current monitor. 1080p. We want to go to advanced display. It looks like it's set to 120 Hertz for the main display, and for this display we look like we're set to 60 Hertz. Let's see, we do have the option for 120 or 144 though, so let's just set it to that to match. And I can tell you already, you might not be able to see it because I record this in 4K 60. Just a little bit here. But it does do 1080p 120. Let's go ahead and try it since it showed 144 here, because this is a 144 Hertz monitor. Keep the changes, and yeah, it is running at 144 Hertz. So that's really nice to see there. So the only other option we could have is if we wanted to run this in 1440p or 4K. I have already tested this in 4K 60 Hertz, so I know that works. Looks like we just lost our monitor here. Let's see what happens. I don't know if it's because I set it to 144 Hertz or what there. We will try disconnecting and reconnecting here. Any luck? There we go. Alright, yeah, I don't think it's liking the 144 Hertz. I will see if we can change that back on the device here. If we look down here, I'm going to go ahead and change that here. Back to, it is set to 120 Hertz now. So let's see, display 2, okay, that's not set. So we're going to change it back to 120 Hertz and keep our changes. And see, yep, it looks like everything's come back up on here. So even though it will run 144, or it says it will, it seems to run better if you run it at 120, which is great because it's still a lot better performance, especially with a mouse. If you're used to 120 or higher, then you know what I'm talking about. But if not, I've heard it described as basically like your mouse is on top of butter. That's what I've heard. So it looks like it performs well as long as you keep it at 120 Hertz. We will try and launch a game and just see if we have any issues with that. Let's see here. We can give Hogwarts a try here. I'll tab here and make sure that that's, yeah, there we go, main on the screen here. So we'll jump in. I mean, everything looks like it's playing fine so far. We're in 15 watt performance mode, which has had some improvements and seems to run pretty well. But we will go ahead and try it in the turbo mode here in a minute as well. Okay, so little laggy there. Might just need a minute to load up. Now it obviously looks better at 1080p on the small screen than on the big screen. But yeah, we're seeing a little bit of jumpiness here, so let's go ahead and bump that up to turbo mode. Now you probably see this is 25 watt turbo because I am hooked up through the 65 watt cable still. But even at the 25 watt turbo plugged in, it seems to play substantially better. So that's good to see. Alright, so let's go ahead and try a few things since we've got a game going here. So I'm going to switch our cables out and we're going to see what happens. So this is the 65 watt cable. It does not provide enough power for turbo mode when you are using multiple devices. Keep in mind, you know, USB drive, 2 USB devices, and monitor plugged in. So that's going to take up some of the speed there, or some of the power, sorry. So we'll take that one off. I can use the 45 watt, but I'm going to try the 100 watt first just because we're trying to see how well this does. And let's move back up here. Oops, sorry. Okay, so I'm going to switch this. It is not picking up when I swapped there. And it is playing. A little bit laggy there. That is acting strange. Oh, it went down to the 10 watt. There we go. I thought something was off there. Okay, so now we are on, as you can see, it's running the 30 watt turbo because we've got a, let me bring this up some so you can see the whole screen better. Because we've got a 100 watt connector, power supply going to it now. So I'm playing with mouse and keyboard and seems to be playing fairly well. You know, we're running 60. I did see it hit 70. It's not quite as sharp as obviously the smaller 7-inch screen, but I mean this is definitely playable for 27-inch if you wanted to, say, get the device and use this as a desktop replacement. You know this is pretty incredible for a handheld. So yeah, the JSAUX dock is handling it fine. Let me see if there's any settings for 120 Hertz in the game here. It won't hit 120 Hertz in most games unless you're playing like a small indie, but still nice to see. Yeah, it doesn't really have any options for it in here. I didn't remember if there were or not, but yeah, like I said, it's not going to matter on most of them. But yeah, this definitely seems to be running very well. So the dock is handling everything. I'm honestly surprised it actually went up and handled 144 Hertz for a little bit, although it did seem to have some issues with that. But they only claim 4K 60. They don't claim anything above 60 Hertz for the dock, so that's pretty good. Now I have tried this on 4K TV I have, and I'll go ahead and let you know that it does 4K 60 just fine. I was able to play Overwatch on it and it plays surprisingly well. But the dock itself handled it fine. I know that they're supposed to be coming out with one that'll do 4K 120. And if you just want to use it as a desktop replacement and you're something like a coder, then you might want to wait for the one that's 4K 120. But in the meantime, if you want a dock, this is reasonably priced. If you want to use it with the Steam Deck, then it's perfect if you get it with the 45 watt adapter. But if you just want to get the dock by itself, then you can get that and combine it with a 100 watt adapter and it'll play fine. So and as you saw, it even played fine with the 65 watt Asus adapter that comes with it. It just doesn't hit the 30 watt turbo when you have several devices hooked up. So that's just, you know, something to note, that you're gonna need to go at least above 65 watt if you want to handle everything. But as for the dock, you know, no problems. This thing seems to be running great. And I don't think I told you this up front, but I do want to be fair and honest with you. JSAUX did send me this dock. Now, you've seen another dock of theirs in my videos, and that's because I've owned a JSAUX dock for a while. And I've used a lot of JSAUX products, which is why I agreed to review this dock. I'm not being compensated in any way other than the dock that we have here. But yeah, this is just being used for testing. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with it, no issues. Been able to play 4K 60, which is great for work. no issues with it at all. So I definitely recommend this dock. I'll send links in the description for the dock at their website, the dock with the 45 watt adapter, and then an Amazon link if you just want to grab the dock from there as well. So hopefully this has been a good review for you. I will be trying to get some other reviews out as well for other devices that I've got here soon. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, please give me a like and subscribe. Thanks all.